Hi everyone, welcome to Make Believe. I'm Ilse and thanks for watching. Today I'm making a tree fairy. This was one of the first dolls I wanted to make but wasn't sure how to. After a few months of thinking and some unfortunate coincidences, I think I nailed it. You like this tree? Watch me how I did this. Oh, and I'm recording my voice for the first time and English is not my mother tongue and I'm a bit nervous about it, so please bear with me. This project didn't start out to be a tree fairy. First I wanted to make a stone figurine between branches, leaves and mosses. Some statues are greyish, so I picked Mouse Cedar's King for this. As always, I cut the hair as short as possible. I got rid of her mouse ears. I warmed her head. And got rid of all the hair plugs and glue inside. And with pure acetone I removed her face paint. Then I used the slow method of head shrinking for the first time. I saw a lot of fellow customizers do this and it turned out perfectly. I'll put some links below. 2 days of shrinking and 2 days of drying was enough for this project. While she was shrinking, I made a base with the tree and leaves so I could see how she had to lay down. So I made a tree stump. Same method as I did with Duifje Vleugelslag. I'll put the link down below. I took a kitchen roll covered in my homemade porcelain clay, painted it with a few layers of acrylic paints in greens and browns and some other colors. I lost footage of the first part, I guess. I'm still a noob when it comes to filming. Well, anything else also. I still have a lot to learn. I made a base for the tree to lie on. I used the paper mache method with some cardboard, some tissue paper and white glue. I superglued the tree on the base that's now as sturdy as a normal plank. I made a lot of messy lines with hot glue that will become the golden tree saps and the roots of the tree. I paint those black first, so the gold will look nice. At this point I decided that someone bad has cut the tree because of all the gold inside, so all the golden juices are running out. And after that the tree had to form new roots to survive. I didn't have any nice rocks that I could use, so I made some from plaster. Broke it in little pieces, I covered them with hot glue and I smoothed the surface. When they were firm, I painted them with acrylics in grey tones. I had some real branches from my garden and I covered them with white glue. Maybe they will be a bit stronger that way. But just in case the real branches wouldn't make it, I also made some branches from wire and hot glue. When the glue dried, I painted them with acrylics in browns and greens and some other colors. I glued the stones in place. I didn't have a story for my girl yet. The only thing I knew was the bad one, who wanted all the gold inside and left the tree to die. But the tree was strong and began to form new shoots from all the golden sap, so now the tree lives on, luckily.
You see, I'm writing endlessly. What will become of me? This higher power knows. You see, I'm waiting patiently, and what this means to me, nobody ever knows. You see, in all the warmth I feel, is this the end of me? Only I should know.
still wasn't sure about the pose for my girl yet. Maybe I have to explain something about myself. Something I only found out recently. I have aphantasia. That means I can't see in my mind how things look like, how I want them to turn out. I think that's the reason I never have a full plan, but only some idea or things I want to use. And then I see how things turn out along the way. When I read about aphantasia, I couldn't believe that most of the people do see that in their minds. You think of an apple and you see it in your mind. Unbelievable. I see only black and grey. I see nothing. When I got my girl again trying a pose, I couldn't find a nice one. But maybe she can sit instead of laying down. And then I had to do a lot of cutting and sanding and never mind that. And Mercedes has all the hair on her arms and legs, and maybe she isn't a stone figurine at all, but a fairy, and she's a bit hairy. I buffed her body with a nail buffer and wiped her clean.
The eyes are made to see, they see the path of our lives. The heart is there to feel, it feels the energy of our time. I can see.
I tried to dismember her legs, but that was harder than with all my former dolls. Maybe you remember with the previous video my little rotary tool broke down and now I didn't have a tool to saw things anymore.
I can hear it. I feel the power in my heart, and it's my moment. It is right there, and it's staring me in the face. The skies and make believe. I see the end of all the eyes. The only way to heal is in the honesty of your eyes. I can see it, I can feel it. This is my waking up, this is my place. I can hear it, I feel the power in my heart, and it's my moment. It is right there, those who belong arrested earth we pray. We feel the rescue coming near. Within the walk and soul to hear. We sense the calm are wrapped in fear. And all the while we heed the senses weight of us to see. We beg of you to not let go our names. Will provide us with a song. I can feel it.
I wanted her to sit on the tree with her knees pulled up, one up and one lying down. And then my story moved on. She was the guardian. She was the guardian of the golden tree to prevent damage on the tree again.
Falling down, start again. Life can bring you down. The monumental truth of elegance in you.
I cut her body in half so her back was curved the way it is when you sit on the floor.
Part of who you are makes you shine inside.
I put a piece of wire in both halves and with hot glue I put it together. This was one hard doll to customize. I mean, what a hard material she's made out. Oh my god. Anyone else had this problem with her? I couldn't drill into the legs, so I had to use glue only. I saw a technique on YouTube with super glue and cotton balls. I will put the link below, and it worked, although I had to get some hot glue in there as well. I don't know if the cotton balls were really necessary here, but I think it's a great technique anyway.
We focus on, we follow faithfully.
And then I decided to turn her upper body a bit, and I warmed up the glue inside with the gun so I could turn it. I took a break from my girl and I started with the leaves. I made a bunch from polymer and foam clay, and whenever everything dried and baked, I gave them all a little bit of paint so you could also see the original color coming through. And I glued all the leaves with super glue and hot glue on all the branches. I also made one clover and I hid it in the middle for good luck. After a few days of gluing leaves, I went back to my guardian. Maybe you already noticed her neck isn't in the right pose, so I had to cut that and glued it back the other way around. I covered all the joints with my homemade clay and came up with the idea of a lens of some sort she could hold. I made it from a paintbrush and polymer clay. And I put some dry brushing with silver acrylics after it baked. I made her ears from wire and polymer clay, baked them, sanded them and glued them on her head. Meanwhile, I wasn't happy with the size of the base, so I think I'm gonna cut a bit off. And then I was fiddling a bit with rhinestones. The wings needed some sparkles. I put them in place with a tiny bit of resin and cured them under the UV lamp. The face up I did off camera. It's something I haven't got under control yet, especially if I have to do it under a camera. And this time I'm very pleased with the results. I touched up the ears with a bit of porcelain clay colored with Inktense pencils. I wasn't happy how the pastels looked on her body, so I gave her a few layers of acrylics. I wasn't happy with the end result either, but I guess it will have to do for now. Then I had to choose between two beautiful colors of hair. I picked the chestnut, so beautiful with all the curls. I started at the back and glued all the little pieces of hair with white glue on her head. This time I really took my time, so it was done well. And despite my perfectionism, I can be a bit impatient at times, and then I rush things too much. But as you can see, I still did something wrong. Please tell me what it is. I fixed it, or, well, I covered it with a little headpiece. And to prevent the video from becoming too long and boring, I skipped a lot everywhere. I did all her accessories off camera and also her eyelashes. Those are still a pain in my butt. I covered her eyes with a tiny drop of resin and a little bit on her mouth and some hairspray on her hair. At the last minute I decided that the diorama should have lights, but I didn't like the silver wire, so I covered it with mosses and little leaves. I glued the string of lights with hot glue. Some finishing touches here and there, and then I could finally place my guardian on her tree. I drilled 2 holes in the tree and 2 in her butt. Took 2 pieces of wire and with hot glue I nailed her down. It wasn't perfect, so I put some moss that I colored a bit with the intense pencils underneath her buttocks. And finally she was done! I think she turned out beautiful. What do you think? Please let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. See you next time.